Hello everybody, this is Gamer Gar. Welcome back to another episode of the Expanded series. We are now entering the first week of summer, and what a week it's going to be. First of all, we're going to process all of our iridium ores we got the previous day. We're then going to head to the desert and we're going to talk to the desert merchant. We're going to purchase some triple shot espressos and spicy eels for movement speed buffs. The faster we can move around, the more we can get done. Once we're finished picking up all of the forageables, we're going to visit Sandy and we're going to purchase a total of 500 starfruit seeds. I could have purchased way more, but I had to think about the resources I had to automate watering, and I just wouldn't have enough gold and iron to make enough quality sprinklers to do more than 500 starfruit seeds for now, but it is something we can expand upon over the next couple of weeks. We'll also purchase some rhubarbs and some beets as well, because we are going for perfection. Because we're using the expanded mod, Sandy has a recipe here called the vegan cone. We'll pick that up because we will need to make that along with every other recipe in the game. Now, we will use a combination of mega bombs and regular bombs to hoe up the majority of the farm. We still have a regular hoe, so that's not really going to do the job anytime soon. If it was iridium, maybe we could get this done, but you just can't beat bombs when it comes to hoeing up huge amounts of land. Now, because we went to Joja route primarily, we got the soda machine off Morris. We also got the steel watering can off Clint. Now, Clint will be used every single time he has upgraded a tool until all of our tools are upgraded to iridium quality. You don't need iridium quality tools to get perfection, but it does make getting perfection a tad bit easier. Now, because we're using the fast animations mod, I absolutely love this mod. I will never ever go through a save file again without using this mod. Just look how much time it saves in real life. We got Clint to hammer through these geodes in no time at all. We're going to get some rewards here, including a starfruit seed and some melons that we'll put back on the farm. We're now going to make some quality sprinklers. I would absolutely love to make iridium sprinklers, however, we don't have the battery packs to do so. And that is the only reason we're not on Ginger Island right now finding golden walnuts, is because we don't have the 5 battery packs needed to repair the boat. Now, Gunther paid us a visit the next day, and basically he's congratulating us for donating huge amounts of artifacts, but because this is the expanded mod, he's not going to give us the key to the sewers. I think you get that from Marlon by increasing his friendship. Instead, we're going to get some money the next day in the mail, and it's going to come to something like 40,000 gold, which is pretty insane, so I'm looking forward to getting that tomorrow. In the meantime, we're going to smelt up more bars. We need huge amounts of iron bars for loads of things. We need it for kegs, we need it for lightning rods, we need it for sprinklers, and we need it for bombs. Our good neighbour Andy was in need of a grape, so we took on the quest, picked up a grape, and gave it to Andy straight away. Once we were finished with the quest, we gave Andy another grape, just to get the friendship points up with him a little bit. We're now going to go back to the farm and smelt up even more bars. We're also going to check out the mushroom cave and grab all these mushrooms because they're free and they're giving us XP towards mastery. Mastery is something that you don't need for perfection, but just like upgrading all of the tools to iridium, getting all of the mastery levels does make it a whole lot easier to obtain. We are going to fix up the minecarts here by putting resources into a chest. Now Gil will fix up the minecarts on the farm. We're going to take mining mastery today. This is going to make Skull Cavern runs way more fun, especially once we unlock the statue of the Dwarf King. That can give amazing buffs to mining. We're going to take a nice stroll through the secret woods, collecting hardwood as we go and wiping out slimes. We picked up a shrub seed. Never seen the like of it before. Must be related to Stardew Valley Expanded mod. We will of course plant it and see what happens. We also picked up some red baneberries, and these are new to me as well, so I will sell some of them and I'll keep a few around, because I imagine they will be needed for something or other later on in the challenge. I started cutting down some regular trees here just to gather up some wood. The main reason for this is to get Robin to make us huge amounts of buildings. We want the coop, we want the barn, and we want those fully upgraded as well. We want a couple of sheds and a few other bits and bobs. But we also need wood for kegs and other artisan machines as well, so the more wood we can get now, the better. I came across a cool house here, and I think this place is called the Aurora Vineyard, I believe. And there was footprints on the floor and they were leading up to the couch, but other than walking around and clicking on the magnifying glass, just to get some pieces of information here and there, I couldn't find anything else in the house of worth. Now, I did pick up an ancient doll and a soggy newspaper, and I found a note here as well, but most of it was faded out. You could kind of read in between the lines for the few things, but I'm pretty sure as we progress through the expanded mod, we will learn a lot more about that vineyard. I, for one, cannot wait to find out. So we're just befriending Marlin again now today. We have prismatic shards. I think he loves slime eggs as well. So that's something we might gift him later on. Hopefully he loves those. Susan paid us a visit the next day. She has a farm up in the Bathhouse area called Emerald Farm, and she's blaming Joja as the reason she got trapped there. But you know what? Mother Nature works in funny ways. I think it's bad form to blame Joja for everything, you know? Anyway, on to more lucrative things. Marlin paid us a visit, and he told us that Gil is going to repair up the minecarts for us, and it should be fully working tomorrow. We also got 40,000 gold from good old Gunther. Thank you very much for donating huge amounts of artifacts. I noticed Morris working hard outside of Pierre's. 50% off coupons, absolutely Morris. It's also good to see that we can get a good relationship with Morris as well. Now we can't marry him unfortunately, but we can at least get him up to 10 hearts and we can become very good friends. So Morris is someone we'll be working on. I was saving that prismatic shard for someone else, but you know what? I'm going to give it to Morris today. Once I was finished hanging around with Morris, I decided to check out the help wanted quests. Leah was looking for an iron bar. We're going to take that on straight away. I also noticed a fruit tree filled up with peaches right beside my greenhouse. And guess who loves peaches? That's right, Robin does. So we're going to head up to Robin. We're going to get her to build a slime hutch. There's a couple of reasons for this. The main reason, slimes can drop slime eggs and they can sell for huge amounts of money. I think it might be a love gift for Marlin as well, so it just makes life easier for me when it comes to giving people love gifts. We just give Robin a peach there too, and just like all the NPCs, we will try to maximize as quickly as possible. I came across a cutscene here of Mayor Lewis giving out to Morris about the things Joja are doing wrong. For example, they caused the landslide and Susan got stuck for ages. There's loads of trash and CDs in the water because of Joja. But you know what, Lewis? You don't see Morris's shorts in people's houses. You don't see a gold statue of Morris lying around the place now, do you? Oh no. Morris, give him some truffle oil and he'll be on his way happy as Larry. Once we were finished with the cutscene, it was time to talk to Clint and we got back our gold pickaxe. Now we're going to hand that back into Clint straight away and upgrade it all the way to an iridium pickaxe. That's going to make life in the mines and skull caverns much easier for us. We're also going to visit the dwarf and we're going to purchase the dwarvish safety manual. It just reduces bomb damage because I hit myself with bombs all the time. We'll pick up a couple of recipes as well as the rare crow as well. We're now going to talk to Marlin here, and it's just a cool cutscene of us officially joining the Adventurers Guild. I thought that was just a cool touch to the expanded mod. On behalf of Stardew Valley and the Order of the Knights of Pythagoras, I officially accept you as the 23rd Adventurers Guild member. Nice one. While we're here, we're going to sell weapons that we're just not going to use anymore to get a bit more money. We're going to purchase some recipes here too, the frog's legs and the mushroom berry rice. And what's hilarious about this is that it needs poison mushrooms and red bane berries to make it. So that's something we might make down the road because it gives 3 attack and 3 defense. Not a bad recipe. I also picked up the vampire ring for wiping out over 200 bats, and we gave Leah her iron bar as well as part of the help wanted quests. While we were here, we gave Leah a salad because she loves those. It was down to the beach to collect some forageables. Because it's summer, there's a chance we can get rainbow shells, and because we have the botanist perk, when we pick those up, they're going to be of iridium quality, and they, my friends, go for very nice money indeed. Now, we didn't come down here just to get the forageables. We had a few other things in mind as well. For example, the capturing of another legendary fish, and this one was the crimson fish. This fish actually gave me a bit of hassle. The fight went on for a while, but we pulled it up eventually, thanks to the lovely trap bobber. The next day, the minecarts were fully working. So as we can see, we've got farm right, middle and left. So it's kind of like, you know, the mini warp obelisks. It just gets you from A to B on the farm very quickly. I also noticed that that meteorite still hasn't been cracked open. So once I get back my iridium pickaxe, I will attempt to break that open, get rid of all the wood, walk into the house, and see what happens. I imagine there'll be, hopefully, a cool cutscene that'll play out. Because it's Thursday, we're going to visit the desert and we're going to get ourselves a magic rock candy by trading in 3 prismatic shards. We're then going to go to Cindersap Forest, we're going to use 100 pieces of hardwood, and we're going to fix up this tree stump and turn it into a lovely cozy home. So when the raccoon comes along, we can start taking on the raccoon quests. It was also Jas's birthday today, so we give her a prismatic shard to say happy birthday. We then spent the rest of the day just pulling up some fish. We just got some chubs, pikes, other bits and bobs. I then got a cutscene here of meeting a new NPC by the name of Sophia. And Sophia is actually an expanded NPC that we can marry if we so wish. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she can give you some sort of a wine that's good as, if not better, than a magic rock candy. But let me know in the comments anyway. So we're just doing more fishing today because we need to collect all the fish to get a star drop if you want to get perfection. The next day, we got a slime egg off Marlin because the slime hutch was built, and we got our iridium pickaxe off Clint. We're now going to upgrade the watering can to gold, and then we'll upgrade it to iridium. It was time to pay the lovely Robin a visit. We came up with her last axe, but we also had a peach to give her as well just to get some extra friendship points. Getting friendship points with Robin is important because she gives you recipes that you need to make so you can get some golden walnuts over on Ginger Island if you're not going the Joja parrot route. So we're going to get Robin to make us a coop, and we also give Emily an aquamarine as well for another help wanted quest, and that gives us a prize ticket. Now if we get a couple of prize tickets together, we can get a star drop tea, and we will use that wisely on someone's birthday to really maximise friendships gained. We're now going into the regular versions of the mines. We're farming up dust sprites for coal and iron ores as well, because we just need so much more iron. If we come across copper, we will absolutely take it. We are going to need so much copper to reach perfection on this file. The next day was the green rain, and we just spent the whole day just whacking away weeds, collecting moss, fibre and other bits and bobs. It's probably the best day in the entirety of the year where you can get huge amounts of fibre and moss, and that is very important, especially for making some of the endgame items. One of them being the Statue of Blessings. Now that is something I want to get sooner rather than later because of the buffs that it can give. It can give speed buff, it can give a luck buff, it can give fishing buffs, it can give friendship gain buffs. It's just such an amazing statue, and it makes getting perfection just a tad bit easier. The great thing about the green rain as well is that it gives a lot of your trees mossy bases, so every few days you can just run around with your sword or with a scythe, you can whack the trees and loads of moss comes off them. It's such an easy way to get huge amounts of moss. Today is Sunday. That means staircases, so we're going to trade in all of our jades for staircases. We have some magic rock candies. We're going to spam staircases and get some loot in the treasure floors. The auto petter was just so handy. We'll take the sprinklers, we'll take the slime eggs, we'll take the prismatic shards. All of it will be used, but look what we got. The big prize today was the lucky ring we got from breaking open a barrel. That's one lucky ring down, one more to go. And the more luck we can get, the higher chances we have getting treasure floors every time we descend down a level in the Skull Caverns. And Iridium Bat just dropped a battery pack. One less battery pack now to worry about. We need 5 in total to repair up the boat to get Ginger Island. I think I have 2 in the chest, and I just picked up 1 there, so 2 to go. Now eventually, because we're in summer, we should get a thunderstorm, hopefully sooner rather than later. When that happens, we will make huge amounts of lightning rods to get huge amounts of battery packs. Now we ended up getting lots of goodies today. We got some artifact troves on floor 104. On floor 105 we got even more artifact troves. That was 10 artifact troves now in total between those 2 floors, which was pretty good. We also got the monster slayer goal for killing serpents. It was actually nice to get that out of the way early. We actually wiped out a lot, I mean a lot of serpents in spring. The next day was the smelting of copper bars, and because we got so much wood over the past couple of days, I was able to make huge amounts of tappers that we can put on all of these oak trees. This is going to give us back now huge amounts of oak resin every week or so. We also went to Clint, we got the gold watering can. We're going to hand that back in straight away for upgrades to the iridium watering can. We're now going to get Clint to break open all of these artifact troves, and he's also going to break open all of these geodes as well, in the hopes that we can get all of the minerals needed to complete the museum collection. Now we don't get everything from this bout, but we do get quite close, and I imagine the next couple of Skull Cavern runs will tell a fair big story for us when it comes to completing the museum collection. Because it was Gus's birthday today, he gets a prismatic shard. Once we're finished smelting up a couple of bars, we get a cutscene up by the bathhouse with Clint here. Lewis hired him to get rid of the big boulder, but he's going to need an explosive that requires some rare materials. So we're going to take on a quest now for Clint to get some coal and iridium ores so he can make that. We're also giving Susan gifts as well to get the friendship up, and we're giving Marlon in some gifts as well in the hopes that he will give us the key to the sores. Getting the napalm ring early is going to make Skull Cavern runs and runs in the regular mines a lot of fun. It's such a fun ring to use. For the next mastery tier, we're going to take the fishing mastery because we get the golden fishing chests. There is a chance we can get star drop teas and fairy dust and other bits and bobs out of those. We can also get gold animal crackers as well. They will double the output capacity of any animal you put on your farm. It's an absolutely amazing cracker. So we're getting copper ores today to complete a help wanted quest from Clint. At the same time, we're focusing down monster eradication goals, and we're collecting quartz and other bits and bobs to help us on our path to perfection. Now, because today was Tuesday, we were able to get Robin just before she left to get another upgrade done. That's going to be the big Coop. We're now going to talk to Clint, and he's going to officially give us the quest to get some iridium ores and coal so he can make an explosive to get rid of the boulder, which unlocks the pathway to the summit. That's right, you can actually get to the summit quite early in Stardew Valley Expanded, but it does not mean you have claimed perfection. We're still a good ways off of getting perfection, but you know what? We will get there eventually. I wonder, will we actually get there before the first year is down? So we completed the railroad boulder quest. Just have to wait a few days now for that boulder to actually go away. Because Marcelo was open, the book vendor, we're going to purchase Way of the Wind Part 1 and Way of the Wind Part 2 to give our character a permanent movement speed bonus. It was then off down to the beach to get some crab pot items. All these are needed for the fishing collection. If you pick them up off the ground, unfortunately, it doesn't count. You have to get them from the crab pots. We then pulled up a couple of super cucumbers. They're going to come in handy for the few things. I decided to do some gift giving tonight. Clint got a gold bar. I'm going to talk to Gus. I'm going to purchase 2 beers. We're going to give one to Pam because it's a loved gift for her. Now, we do have something else for Emily. We have an amethyst for her, which was nice. We're also going to give Shane a beer as well. Unfortunately, we didn't really have anything for good old Gus, but don't you worry, Gus. We won't forget about you. We will give you something pretty cool. I noticed a third arcade machine over to the right there in the saloon. I tried to access it, but it didn't work. But I am sure I will get something later on that will allow me to use that machine. So the next day was going to be lightning. We are going to go all in on this. I made huge amounts of lightning rods and I put them all down on the farm. The next day the boulder was cleared. It was time to go up to the summit and obtain perfection. And there you go, everyone. The 10th of summer. Perfection. If only it was that easy. Now, because we already have access to the summit, I don't know what happens when you actually get perfection with the expanded mod. But we're going to find out soon enough, you know. We will hit it eventually. I did get some forageables I haven't seen before. Thistles and goldenrods. I also got my iridium watering can off good old Clint. Now it's time to upgrade the pan all the way to the iridium. And we are going to have so much fun with that pan once we get to Ginger Island. I gave Marlon another prismatic shard today, and I also gave Maru a diamond because it was her birthday. Now, she also loves battery packs and strawberries, but battery packs were quite scarce and didn't have any strawberries. The Raccoon finally moved in. He had a quest for us, a smoked chub and some beach forageables. We should be able to get those without too much hassle. We will put down some more crab pots here in the hopes to get some more crab pot items that are river related, such as the crayfish and the snail. I decided to do a bit of fishing today just to get some more fish for the fishing collection. I was pulling up some sturgeons. They sell for real nice money. But look what I got in one of the chests. I got challenge bait and I got some fairy dust. Fairy dust is absolutely amazing. I also get some sturgeon roe as well, and I can put that into a preserve jar and I can get back caviar. And that is something we need to sell for the shipping bin collection. So it's always nice to get that out of the way sooner rather than later. Once I was finished up in the lake, I went down to the beach to get more crab pot items. I actually managed to get a lot of things that the Raccoon was looking for, so I now met all of the requirements to complete the first Raccoon quest. I ran back to the farm. I smoked up the chub. It doesn't take too long for the fish smoker to churn out a smoked good. We then went to the Raccoon and we handed in the cockles and the smoked chub for the first quest complete. As a reward, we got 25 summer squash seeds. And that is the end of another Let's Play. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I hope you all have a beautiful week. Bye for now. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another episode of the expanded series. We are now entering the 11th of summer. We're almost halfway through the season, and what a week this is going to be. Now, we start off by getting huge amounts of battery packs. We're finally going to go to this big huge shed here to see what is inside. We do have a fully upgraded axe, so we're going to wipe out all of these logs, open the doors and see what is going to play out. I also noticed a money tree just to the left of my character there, and that gives us one money bag every single day. Now, the great thing about this place is it serves as a huge storage facility, but also a greenhouse up on the 2nd floor. But we're not going to get those for free. Oh no, upgrading the tools to get in here was just the first phase. We now need to get a hold of Robin to fix this place up, but she won't do it for free. She will need huge amounts of materials. So we're going to get the money bags. Each one sells for 1,000 gold. Believe it or not, these are actually a loved gift for Morris. I found out eventually. I just thought it was hilarious actually. Today it was the luau, so we're going to put a Gold Star Sergeant into the soup, and that is going to get us the best response from the governor. In turn, huge amounts of friendship points with a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs. Because today is Thursday, we're going to go to the desert trader and we're going to pick up another magic rock candy. These are vital when it comes to doing very successful Skull Cavern runs. Robin pays us a visit the next day and she's talking about the structural integrity of that shed that we found. Robin will now put a big container inside the shed and we can fill that up with resources. And once it's filled up with the appropriate amount of resources, Robin will then turn that shed into an absolute game changer of a building that we can use on our farm. To have a shed and a greenhouse all in one building is going to be very handy for us, especially when it comes to making money. So we just fixed up the boat there too for Willie. We can now go to Ginger Island. We also paid Robin a visit as well, and she just has 150 pieces of hardwood, 600 stone, 50 iron bars and 20 battery packs. Now in all fairness, that is a tall order, but because we already have some Skull Cavern runs under our belt and because we can get hardwood easy enough, it won't be too hard to get all those resources. Tomorrow is also another stormy day, so we're going to get even more battery packs. Andy here loves butterfish, and they're very easy to pull up, so we're going to give him Gold Star butterfish every time we get the opportunity. We're also venturing down into Cindersap Forest. We're just exploring to see if there's any other areas I might have missed, but I also found a couple of new fishies down here too. We picked up the bull trout there, which was nice. So when it comes to getting perfection on this file, it's going to be a bit harder because Stardew Valley Expanded literally expands upon everything, including the amount of fish that you get in the game. Now I went to the secret woods later on to get huge amounts of hardwood because we need over 150 pieces for Robin to fix up Grandpa's shed. Fortunately, the expanded version of the secret woods is absolutely huge, and there's huge amounts of tree stumps littered all over the place. Once we were finished with cutting down the stumps, we just get a nice cutscene here of Robin and Willie fixing up the boat so we can now go to Ginger Island whenever we please. The next day our starfruits finally have grown. Now we don't have the farming mastery just yet, so unfortunately we need to pick these starfruit up by hand. Now it is a bit of a grind, but eventually we will get the iridium sight and we can just wipe these things off the face of the earth within a matter of seconds. Now we are getting lots of good XP for these as well. We're also going to visit Pierre. We're going to sell him all of the melons and all of the starfruit. This got us the achievement 1 million. It put us up to 680,000 gold. We're now going to go to Sandy with that, and we're going to purchase around 500 starfruit seeds. Should do the job for now. Eventually we will purchase a lot more once the shed has been repaired and once we get full access to the Ginger Island farm. So you're going to see a combination of the greenhouse with starfruit, the Ginger Island farm with starfruit, Grandpa's shed with starfruit, and before you know it, we're going to have huge absurd amount of money. It did take us a good portion of the day to put up all of the starfruit, and it will take more or less the rest of the day to get all of this starfruit planted. We did go into the mastery cave though, and we are going to pick up the farming mastery. Golden animal crackers 100%, iridium sight absolutely, and the statue of blessings is a game changer. It gives amazing perks. The farming mastery gives so many useful things. We're also getting a lot of things from the crab pots too. The snails there now are a loved gift for Vincent. We're also collecting moss from all these trees. They will accumulate moss every couple of days. We need huge amounts of moss so we can make the statue of blessings. 333 pieces in total. Mr. Key has visited the valley and he has dropped mystery boxes. We can now find these all over the place. The next day starts with the collection of huge amounts of battery packs. Now a lot of these battery packs won't just be used for the Grandpa's shed upgrade, they're going to be used for iridium sprinklers as well and other bits and bobs. We also met a statue of blessings today, which was great. One of the best perks you can get from that is a luck buff, but because we're doing a perfectionist run, getting the friendship buff is also very handy. If we do get that buff, normally we will take the time to run around and talk to as many people as we see. We're going to cut down some trees today to accumulate more wood. Now I could easily buy wood as well, but it's very important that we save the rest of our money for more starfruit when we get full access to Ginger Island and when Grandpa's shed has been built. So for now, there's lots of trees all over Stardew Valley. It just takes a few swings to knock them down, so it's just a good way to harvest wood for now. We will get Robin to make a barn for us, and we're going to give Marlin a slime egg. Because Marlin loves slime eggs, making a slime egg press is going to be very beneficial for us because we can just put slime inside it, get back a slime egg and give it to Marlin twice a week. We're going to get Clit now to upgrade our pan to gold, and eventually we'll upgrade that to iridium. We also picked up a help wanted quest to slay 2 squid kids down in the regular versions of the mines, and that's where we're going right now. If we come across diamonds, that's absolutely great. If we can get a hold of 10 diamonds, we can actually save those and trade them in for the Book of Power up on the Ginger Island Volcano dungeon. Once we get to floor 5, we can talk to the dwarf and get the diamond hunter. So we're going to save all of our diamonds for now so we can get that Book of Power. Getting that early comes in so handy, and it's just a great way to accumulate huge amounts of diamonds. So we're back on our regular farm and we're collecting iridium bars. Because we have the iridium bars, the battery packs and a lot of the gold bars, we can now make a lot of nice stuff. But first we're going to make the statue of the Dwarf King. That statue gives amazing perks. We're also going to make the slime egg press as well, just so we can sort out a continuous supply of loved gifts from Marlin. We also have the slime hutch built too. So we're going to go into the slime hutch. We're going to put some slime into the egg press here. That's going to give us back a slime egg in the next day or two. The free slime incubator is very handy. It's nice that it comes with the slime hutch. We're going to put it over there in the corner. And eventually we will have a nice slime farm going so we can harvest huge amounts of slime balls every couple of days. So I made huge amounts of mega bombs now today. And as we can see, the greenhouse that you're getting expanded is real nice. And I love the slots that it gives you for putting down trees as well. Eventually we will have one type of sapling put into each of the tree slots. We're going to talk to the wizard as well to let him know that we wiped out the squid kids. And now we're going to talk to Marty and we're going to purchase some animals. The animals will be named after our channel members. We're going to get 1 chicken, 1 duck, and the rest will be rabbits. So we have Nyanya as the white chicken, MS Bird 2 as the duck, Justin as a rabbit, Edita Kudo, Inda, Bittiest Kitty. We also have Nicole Fallon. We have Mooj. We've also got Ace Kimmer, Eldrick, and we also have Himbo Jenkins. Lazy Lantern 1 will be the last rabbit for now, but eventually if I feel like I'm struggling with friendships and I need more rabbit's feet, I can always just make another coop, or I can upgrade that even further because you can do that with expanded and put more rabbits inside. So we're going to collect more money bags today, and there's still a lot of resources around this farm I haven't tapped into yet, a lot of tree stumps that I haven't actually taken out. I'm going to click on the big chest Robin put in Grandpa's shed. I'm going to fill it up with resources now so we can get the ball rolling with the completion of that area. We're also giving Marlin more items here. The reason why I'm working on Marlin so much is because people have put into the comments real good tips in relation to how I can progress Stardew Valley Expanded, and apparently befriending Marlin is something that you should do a lot sooner rather than later. So just a big shout out to all those people that are helping me out. I really appreciate it. And if you have any more tips for me when it comes to Stardew Valley Expanded, don't hesitate to fire them into the comments because I do read all of the comments. Once I get a little bit of time, I will get back to everyone and I will reply to all of the lovely comments you've been giving me. So for the rest of the evening we're pulling up fish, and Robin visited us the next day and she told us that she's going to do some refurbishing now with Grandpa's shed and it's going to take about a day. We also made more iridium quality sprinklers, and we also visited Clint as well to get back our gold pan. Now we have the funds, we've got the resources, so we are going to keep upgrading tools as long as we can do so. So we're now going to go to the Joja Mart here. We're going to purchase 10 of every single crop they have. Because we completed all the Joja development projects, we can purchase all of the crops from them regardless of season. Now you can't get the likes of strawberries or garlic or things like that, but you can get most if not all of the year 1 crops, bar the crops over in the desert. Once all those crops have fully grown up, I'm going to look at the wiki, I'm going to keep the ones I need for cooking recipes, and I'm going to ship off the rest for the shipping bin collection. So that's the reason why I purchased 10 of each crop. If I need more, I can simply just go back to the Joja Mart or go to Pierre's and purchase more no problem. It's now time to explore Ginger Island. So today, just like most first days on Ginger Island, we're going to pick up all of the golden walnuts. Once all these are collected, We'll break into the west side of Ginger Island and we'll try to get the parrots to fix up the farm so we can use it going forward. Now those mussel nodes can give you up to 5 golden walnuts, but I find it can be very hit and miss sometimes. I just got 1 golden walnut there, but sometimes you can go months, sometimes even a year without getting all of the 5 golden walnuts that you can get from those mussel nodes. So we'll play it by ear and see how many golden walnuts we can get naturally. If we can get a total of 100 golden walnuts, we can get into Key's secret walnut room and we can start doing some key quests. It would be nice to get into that room much sooner rather than later. So the next day we're going to take some time here and we're going to hoe up some spots on the farm. We're going to put down some crops. We'll try to put down a melon as well as some wheat so we'll get some more golden walnuts from the frog inspection. We just got very lucky here now and we picked up a second snake vertebrae. That can be very hard to get sometimes. All I need now is the snake skull, and the rest of the archaeology artifacts that you can find here are fairly easy to get as long as you know where to go to get them. There's also a lot of new fish we can catch here too, so we'll come back to that later when we go back to Ginger Island. For now, we had to go back over to the mainland because it was Sam's birthday. I gave Sam a pizza. He was very happy with that. It's a nice loved gift for Sam and it's very easy to get because Gus has an unlimited supply of those provided you have the cash. Because we now have animals, I'm going to get Robin to build a silo. We also collected a blue slime egg from our slime egg press. We're going to put that into the incubator just to start a little slime family here. We're also going to put down some iridium sprinklers inside the slime hutch so we don't have to water up the troughs every single day. And that's all your slimes need to thrive. They just need water. Because the shed is now fully built, just look at the sheer amount of space we get to use inside here. We could plant whenever we want up here on the second floor. On the first floor, we could put casks down if we wanted to age wine, or we could put down kegs and other stuff. The raccoon wanted dried hot peppers and spice berry jelly. That should be simple enough. We're now going to go to Clint. We just got back our iridium pan. We can have some serious fun with this. But we're not finished yet. We're now going to start upgrading the hoe. Once all of our tools are of iridium quality, we can put the best enchants on them. It's going to make getting perfection way easier. We just picked up an aquamarine from the east gem bird there as well, so that goes onto the east pedestal. 3 more gems to go and we get a few more golden walnuts from that little puzzle. Now you can guess those, but if you just have one, you could be wild putting different types of combinations of gems down. If you have 2, it's fairly easy to guess the rest. So we'll see how we get on. Well, you can get lots of golden walnuts inside the Volcano dungeon here. We can get 5 from combat, 5 from mining, 5 from dwarven caches. You can get 1 from the chest as well, and you can get a few more freebies up in the summit. So you can get a good few golden walnuts by coming in here a handful of times. You also get very good resources here too, such as coal and stone. We also purchased the Diamond Hunter off of the dwarf here on floor number 5. This is an amazing book of power. Every time we pickaxe open a node, there is a chance a diamond will pop out. And even though it's not super common, you'll be very surprised just how much that perk activates. It's always a nice surprise regardless of how far you are into the game to get a diamond out of a regular node. We also picked up the hot Java ring on floor number 9. That ring is an absolute game changer. Triple shot espressos and coffees are now a thing of the past. We also found a new NPC here up in the summit by name of Lance. He says the first slash sends their regards. Lance here is a romanceable NPC, that's right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if we get friendship points up with Lance, we can go to his homeland, which is the Highlands or something like that. It's just a place I've never been before. So we'll see as we progress the game anyway. I combined an iridium band with the lucky ring. It's a good combination. For the other ring slot, I just stuck in the hot Java ring there. Eventually, I'll get more cinder shards. I'll combine the hot Java ring with something else. We freed Professor Snail, so we can now take on his archaeology side quest. We're going to grab some freebie golden walnuts up here. We can't get the one in the ground there because we don't have our hoe. So we're just going to donate some items to Professor Snail. We're going to take on the island survey as well. The purple flowers, it's always going to be 22. And the purple starfish, it's always going to be 18. It never changes, which is great. It would be a nightmare if it did. We also fished up the snake skull, which was nice. And for the rest of the evening, we're going to try to get some new fishies. So we pulled up the lionfish, which is a fish native to Ginger Island. And that came along with the 1.5, nothing special there. But we also got a Lunaloo. And then it was into the next day, we picked up a topaz from the North Gem Bird. That's going to go on the North Pedestal now inside the specific area. Once we get one more Gem Bird, we can very easily guess the last one. And the next day is going to be a rainy day, which is great. Now that octopus was a fierce hard catch, very difficult. But the octopus isn't the big beastie of Ginger Island with the expanded mod. Oh no! There is another fish that has claimed supremacy. And it's not the clownfish, it's not the sponge, it's this wicked hard thing here. This, my friends, is a shark. And it was extremely hard. I had to use 2 trap bobbers and a fishing buff food to pull this thing up out of the water. I dare say this thing was much harder than that of a Legend 2. It was an extremely hard catch. The apex predator of the sea, the shark. Unfortunately, it only goes for 1800 gold. I also picked up the seahorse as well, along with some other new fish that I haven't seen before. It was Demetrius' birthday. He gets a rabbit's foot and a star drop tea that we managed to get from a golden fishing treasure chest. That's the great thing about the golden fishing treasure chests. There's a chance you can get golden animal crackers and star drop teas out of them, along with some other bits and bobs as well, including a very powerful fishing buff food, such as the fish stew. It gives a +3 to fishing. So we're going to do some panning today. I was looking for more archaeology items. I was looking for the fossilized tail, to be exact. Now, we got a lot of nice things today, but I just really wanted the fossilized tail so we can complete Professor Snail's archaeology side quest. We got lots of iridium ore, lots of coal. We even got another breakfast chair, which I thought was hilarious. What are we going to do with all these breakfast chairs? Eventually, my efforts paid off and I got the fossilized tail. Just a few more items to go to complete that quest. We will have to go to Clint and get him to break open some golden coconuts. So once we get that done, we should be good to go then to get huge amounts of golden walnuts from Professor Snail. Lance paid us a visit the next day. He's going to give us a schedule now, and the schedule basically tells us where he's going to be on any given day, because he moves around quite a lot. All of our rabbits are outside enjoying the breeze. We will start giving them golden animal crackers that we have accumulated from all of the fishing we have been doing. We also picked up the copper hoe from Clint. Now, we're going to get Clint to process some golden coconuts here. We were lucky enough to get the fossilized skull from one of them, which was great. We're also going to get him to break open the rest of the jewels here too, in the hopes that we can get some items needed for the museum. It would be nice to complete the museum collection well before year number 2 comes into place. We went back to Gunther because I found a fossilized apple on the ground. I don't know how rare this is, but I handed it in straight away. I'm not going to make the mistake I made on day number 1 where I sold that amber yolk I got from the ground in the farm, because I haven't found any other amber things yet. So, fingers crossed we come across one of those amber things sooner rather than later. So we completed the gem bird puzzle and we fixed up the resort area. This gives us access to another cool area here where we can get more golden walnuts. There is a mermaid down there as well. And we also picked up another book of power, Jack be nimble, Jack be thick. This gives us a +1 to defense permanently, which is really nice. We can get stingrays inside that little pond of water there, and that's what we're going to do right now. The stingray is another fish native to Ginger Island, and it is needed for the fishing collection. Now, we can get another 5 golden walnuts from the mermaid if we get friendship points up with Robin. She'll teach us the flute block and the drum block, but we just don't have the friendship points with Robin yet. Because we completed Professor Snail's archaeology side quest, he gave us the ostrich incubator. We can now incubate ostriches, and we got lots of golden walnuts, and we even got a mango sapling and a banana sapling. We're going to go back to the regular farm now. I made 76 kegs in total, and this huge space will now be dominated with kegs over the next few weeks, and this is going to be our big main money maker. We're going to give Morris a bag of money. He was very happy with that. Who wouldn't be? I also got a new fish down in the secret woods. I picked up the grass carp along with the wood skip. And that is another episode done. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one, which will happen very soon. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to another episode of the expanded series. We start off this session with a visit from Morris of all people, giving us a 20% off all seats come the 22nd of summer. Well, thank you very much, Morris. Now this won't really help us out that much because we're primarily starfruit farmers at the moment, and I already purchased huge amounts of crops in the previous week, but it's still nice to get that perk once per year, especially if you are deciding on purchasing thousands upon thousands of crops. We are going to visit Pierre now today. We're going to purchase one of every single sapling that he has, and we're going to put all these saplings down in the greenhouse. This is going to ensure that we have all of the required fruit when it comes to the recipes, when it comes to love gifts, when it comes to all of those mechanics. We're going to be sorted. We're going to go to the travelling cart and we're going to purchase triple shot espressos. We're going to get spicy eels, and we're going to get huge amounts of staircases because we have crystallariums back in the farm generating jades. we're going to give Andy a gold star butterfish, and we're also going to give Sophia a fairy stone. She absolutely loves fairy stones, and you can get those out of geodes, and you can even put those into crystallariums if you want to get huge amounts of fairy stones so you don't have to use up other gifts for Sophia. So we just gave Marlon an egg there as well, and we went up to the summit to get some more forageables. Up here we got golden rods, sweet peas and thistles. We then went down to the beach to pull up some fishies, and the reason why we're doing this is that I just want more fish for the fishing collection. I also wanted to get more golden treasure chests in the hope to get more star drop teas. We're also giving in the fruit that the raccoon asked for, and we just got back the raccoon journal. This is a really nice book of power. It increases the odds of getting items from Wheeze when you whack them open. It's also the dwarf's birthday today. The dwarf got a gold star spicy eel along with a star drop tea. It's then time to collect all of the oak resins, and all of these will be turned into kegs that we put inside Grandpa's shed. We're now going to visit Robin today, and we're going to purchase a deluxe barn. Once that barn has been completed, we will be able to purchase all different types of animals off Marnie, including the overpowered pig. Today was the 22nd. We're going to go into Pierre's store here. There was nobody inside. Everyone is over in Joja taking advantage of the lovely discounts they have. I thought Pierre might have discounts today, but he didn't. Checking out all of the Joja crops, we can see that everything absolutely has been discounted, which is pretty cool. We're now going to talk to Andy, and he says Joja has the best and cheapest products. If I shop at Pierre's, I will go out of business. Pam agrees. She says Joja is lively than ever. George is all for Joja too. He says times are changing and for the better. And even Alex is having a great time. He can make a cool meal plan. So Joja is just helping everyone out as per usual. We're going to go to Sandy here now after giving Marlon a gift. We're going to purchase huge amounts of starfruit seed. We are now officially broke, but not for long. Sometimes you just have to spend all your money to make even more back. We're going to start filling out Grandpa's shed here. This is up on the second floor. We're putting down some iridium sprinklers, and we're filling up the whole place with starfruit. We have kegs down on the first floor as well, so we're going to make huge amounts of money from this tactic. When we were finished with Grandpa's shed, we got a very unexpected visitor, the dwarf of all people. The dwarf has a proposition for us, but he wants us to visit the dwarf's home tomorrow, so we'll take a visit to the mines now tomorrow to see what is up. Because we have a total of 5 prize tickets, we were able to grab a star drop tea from Mayor Lewis's ticket machine, and that will be used to great effect for Victor's birthday. Good old Victor here loves battery packs. We have huge amounts of battery packs. Because we gave him the star drop tea as well, it literally ascended his friendship level right up to the top for us. We went down to the beach afterwards. We're picking up sand dollars that we can sell, and we also fished up the red snapper as well. We're getting some real good stuff in the golden chests. We're now going to go back to Ginger Island. It is time to terraform this entire area. We start by eliminating all of the tree stumps and the big rock slabs. Once all of those things have been eliminated, we're then going to take out our trusty hoe, and we're going to hoe up the remainder of the land. We will also use the combination of bombs as well towards the bottom. We just need to make sure that we don't hit our sprinklers, and more importantly, we don't hit our crops. Once we're finished with hoeing up the ground, we're going to plant down some starfruit, and as we can see, the next day we have got a fully functional starfruit farm over on Ginger Island, along with some other bits and bobs as well. It was Willie's birthday today. He gets a sturgeon. Willie loves those, and they're very easy to get in summer up by the lake. We then paid a visit to the dwarf here, and we got a cool cutscene, and the dwarf has a very interesting project for us. The dwarf can basically give us a shortcut to the desert from our farm. That's right, from our farm. All we have to do is give the dwarf an absurd amount of diamonds, 36 in total. Now that may seem like an extreme amount, but after a couple of Skull Cavern runs and a few visits to the regular mines, you'd be actually very surprised how little time it would take you to accumulate that amount of diamonds, especially with some of the endgame perks we have with mining, where sometimes we can get double gems from a node. So we just broke open a ton of minerals there and artifacts, thanks to Clint. We're now going to get some rewards based on what we have donated to the museum so far. The ancient seeds are going to come in very handy. They are a regrowable crop. They will absolutely go inside a greenhouse, so we can have those forever. We're now going to go into the regular versions of the mines here, to the middle floors. We're farming up iron and coal so we can make huge amounts of bombs. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to gear up for a very good Skull Cavern run. We're low on iridium. We're after selling a huge amount of bars, and we're after using a lot of bars to upgrade tools as well. we also need other resources as well, and it's one of the best places to go to get more or less everything mining related, including diamonds. Now if we get auto petters and auto grabbers down here, it's nice, but to be fair, because we went the Joja route, we can buy as many auto petters as we want. They are expensive, but if you take a look at the amount of starfruit we have on the farm, it's not really going to be that much of an inconvenience, you know? Now we do end up hitting a lot of treasure floors today. We picked up a couple of auto grabbers and auto petters. It was nice. We also got some prehistoric floors as well, so we got the kill count up on those pepper rexes, which is very important for monster eradication goals. Getting treasure floors with extra bombs is always a blessing, because it just means I have to use less resources to keep the bombs coming. We also got a new level of understanding. That means we can go into the mastery cave and select another endgame perk. We're now harvesting huge amounts of starfruit on our primary farm, and this is going to be the last starfruit harvest you're going to see on the primary farm, bar the greenhouses that we have set up. The Ginger Island will be the main base when it comes to harvesting huge amounts of starfruit, as well as Grandpa's shed. We're going to sell all of this back to Pierre, putting our money up to 697,000. We're now going to purchase a whole stack of wheat, and this is going to be used as a placeholder so we don't have to re-hoe the ground in fall. We can just plant huge amounts of pumpkins without consuming huge amounts of time or energy. We finally got the cutscene with Marlin. He wants to show us a new friend by the name of Krobus who lives down in the sewers, and this is going to open up huge amounts of content just for us to experience. Now, because we're using the Stardew Valley expanded mod, there's a lot of things down here that are slightly altered. The cutscene is real nice. The introduction to Krobus, I think it's very unique. I really like the approach. When we're finished talking to Krobus, we're going to get the key to the sewers from Marlin. We're then going to visit Robin and we're going to build a mill. We're then going to go back down to the sewers and we're going to have a nice chat with Krobus. There's a lot of things he has that we need. We're going to purchase a good handful of void eggs here. Some will be sold for the shipping bin collection. Another will be transformed into a void mayonnaise also for the shipping bin collection. Another will be given to Krobus as a gift because he loves void eggs, and the last one will be turned into a void mayonnaise to give to the henchmen. We're going to purchase a couple of recipes off Krobus here too. He has a void salmon sushi recipe and it looks absolutely amazing. +3 fish and +3 luck and a whopping +5 to defense. I also went into the mutant bug lair and I picked up the dark talisman so we can now go into the witch's swamp. Now because this is the Stardew Valley expanded mod, the witch's swamp has been altered. This place is now absolutely huge. It's very maze-like, lots of small little paths that jut off in all different directions. This swamp is filled up to the top with all different kinds of mushrooms. This is by far the place to go if you want to level up foraging if you have the expanded mod. There's just mushrooms everywhere. The place also has a lot of enemies that can hit quite hard. The lava lurkers, for example, they've been reskinned. I don't know what to call now, maybe swamp lurkers, but they pop out of the water, they can shoot balls of fire at you and they can deal some significant damage. We also have those golems that come out of the ground and they can surprise you and they can get in a few hits before you notice, so you have to have your wits about you. So we passed out in the witch's swamp. Not to worry, we're going to go straight back here the next day to see if we can make some progression in here. So we're just roaming around, picking up as many forageables as we see. Because we have the botanist perk, every single foraging we pick up is of iridium quality, which is really nice. I picked up the cursed mannequin there too, which is a pretty cool aesthetic you can put in your house. Sometimes the mannequin will even take off your clothes, so you wake up the next morning and the mannequin is wearing your clothes. It's actually quite freaky. Now those giant ghosts hit like trucks. They can take easily 3/4 of your health away if they land an attack, so you have to be very careful they don't make contact. Thankfully, because this swamp is so narrow and these ghosts are so big, normally you can kind of hit them from behind a corner and they can't get at you. Sometimes you can even hide behind forageables as well, and you can just whack the sides of them until they are defeated. Now for some reason, a lot of monsters in this place, especially the ghosts, you tend to miss them quite a bit, but if you just keep attacking, eventually you will land attacks and you will destroy them. We finally found a house and it said look to the right, and I saw a teleporter, but I couldn't actually get it from where I was, so I had to go down and all the way around to get access to that teleporter. When I did, I was finally whisked off to where the henchman was. I gave him a void mayonnaise so I could now access the witch's house and I could grab that lovely magical ink. But before we go in there, we're going to do some fishing. The first one I pulled up was just the usual void salmon, but there was a beast amongst beasts inside these waters, and this was the void eel. This thing was ferociously hard. After 2 attempts, we nabbed it. Once we had all of the fishies caught, we went into the witch's hut, picked up the magical ink, and we were well on our way. The cool thing about this was when I jumped on the teleporter here, it actually teleported me to the wizard's place as it does, but look at all of the other teleporters. It just goes to show how big this Stardew Valley expanded is going to get. I think we've just kind of scratched the surface with it here. I also found a new fishing location too in Cinersap Forest, and at this location I was able to get glowfish, and I was also able to get another fish called a meteor carp. Now look, it wasn't the hardest fish in the world, but it's definitely one of the coolest fish I've ever seen. I made over 17,000 gold today from selling swamp flowers. I got a letter the next day from the henchman. You took something from my employer's home, causing me to lose my job. Now I'm homeless. You must help or else. Come visit me at the marshlands. I will wait. So we're going to give Marlin more gifts today to get the relationship points up even more. I have a feeling if I can get his relationship up high enough, I can use that boat to get to a new location. We're going to get Clint to break open huge amounts of geodes here in the hopes we're going to get some minerals and artifacts that we need for the museum. Now we picked up another ancient seed there, which was really nice. That's one more ancient fruit now we can put on the farm. We're going to donate all these things to Gunther, and we're actually getting pretty close now to completing all of the minerals the game has to offer. One or a few more runs to the Skull Caverns should do the job for us. We just picked up a crystallarium there as a reward from the museum, which was really nice. We went back down to the source today. We're going to fight the legendary fish down here, the mutant carp. Now, after a while we managed to fish this thing up. For some reason this was a fairly difficult mutant carp. Normally it tends to be a little bit easier for me. But that wasn't the only unique fish down here. There was another fish that sells for real nice money, and this one is called the radioactive carp. Now this thing sells for over 1,000 gold. If you smoke it up, you can get over 2,000 gold for this, which is nice. It does not compare to the lava eel, but you know what? It's still a nice fish. We also pulled up a grub and a slime jack from the mutant bug lair as well, and we finally made our way over to the witch's swamp. It was time to talk to the henchman. The henchman basically got the sack because he led us into the boss's house where we took the magical ink. So we need to complete a quest here called the Witch Offering. Basically, the henchman wants to offer up huge amounts of forageables to the witch in the hopes that he can get his old job back. So we had to get huge amounts of morels, chanterelles, red mushrooms, purple mushrooms, and swamp flowers. Now thankfully, we have the gatherer perk, so there's a good chance every time we picked up a forageable, we're picking up 2 instead of 1. We didn't have to try that hard to get all of the forageables we needed. I did get a bit carried away and I just kind of went around killing things as I saw them because I was having so much fun. Those big giant green ghosts, even though they were a big threat, they were dropping some awesome things. They were dropping huge amounts of solar essences. And every time I killed those golems that were coming at me, I was getting coffees, fibers, I was just getting all sorts of stuff that was just going to really help me out over the next couple of weeks. Now, I don't manage to complete the quest today, but I should absolutely complete this quest the next day, but you will have to wait around and see for yourself what happens in the next video. So this is basically another Let's Play done. We're now finished with summer. Let me know what you thought. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you all very soon in the next Stardew Valley challenge. Bye for now everyone, and thanks a million for watching.